Hey guys, I'm not always going to be looking at the camera. I think it's on this, or no, it's over here. Wait a minute, where's it at? It's right there. Yeah, okay, so I guess, okay. So, anyway, I'm not always going to be looking at the camera. It's a bright day out here. My eyes cannot handle the light, so I'm squinting a lot. So I want to give a review on Friends and Fables, okay? And first, I want to tell you some things about myself. I freaking love RPGs, whether it's a video game or tabletop. I am a huge fan of Dungeons and Dragons. I've watched almost every single episode that Critical Role's put out. I've watched both of their full shows on Amazon, although I did not like. There's a lot of things in their last Amazon show. It was, what was it called? See, it's so bad I can't remember the name. It was something 9, but it was spelled like the German word 9. That show was terrible, but Vox Machina was really, really good. The other 9 was just way too woke. It was constantly throwing wake shit and politics in your face that are very un-American, very socialist, fascist, Nazi, Germany kind of shit. You know what I mean? I just didn't like it. But I'm just telling you, I'm a huge Dungeons and Dragons fan. So I tried Everweave first. Everweave, I don't support Everweave at all. There's so many problems with Everweave, I wouldn't even know where to begin with. First of all, they don't have a subscription that has unlimited messages. And their highest subscription is literally $60 for 3,000 messages. Why the hell would anybody? I have a lot of money, but why would anybody, even with a lot of money, waste $60 on a damn phone that you're playing on your iPhone? Think about that. And then on top of that, you're only getting 3,000 messages every time that the AI says anything. Whether it's combat or you're doing something in a room or it's explaining what's going on, it counts as a message. And you burn through 3,000 messages in the first week. Easy. All right. So there's problems with Everweave, but I'm not reviewing that. Everweave is trash. My daughter likes it, but I think it's pure trash. But she's barely playing it. So Friends and Fables has a better connection with its AI to Dungeons and Dragons 5e. There are so many things that I tried to get accomplished, and I tried to get the AI on Everweave to do that is literal 5e basic rules, and it didn't know them. I never had that problem when I was on Friends and Fables, and that's what this review is about, Friends and Fables. But I have to compare it to Everweave because Everweave is very popular. I don't even know why now after playing it. I played, I think I played. I played for, it was almost a week on Everweave, and I ran through whatever the free limit messages are, plus 3,000 extra messages, because I went ahead and paid, and then I canceled my subscription immediately. That Everweave is trash, okay? But Friends and Fables, it hits everything right except for the AI. The AI itself is the problem. So let me explain. Franz is the name of the AI on Friends and Fables, and as of this date today, I'm telling you, Franz is mentally retarded. Franz is mentally retarded and will literally tell you something one message after he already confirmed that your race and your stats and the situation is blah, 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 blah. The next message after that, he's literally changing everything. It's not that the system can't recognize a lot of races or things like that, and you can homebrew really easy in Friends and Fables. But it's the fact that the AI itself is retarded. There's no other word for it. Like, I don't know what else. Like, I'm talking 60 IQ level. Actually lower than that, because somebody with 60 IQ, if they tell you Here's a table, and I'm going to give you a Gatorade. You have a Gatorade right there on the table. Someone with a 60 IQ that you're talking to who puts a Gatorade on a table does not ask you to drink from said Gatorade when there's no fucking Gatorade, and then you literally have to tell them that they didn't put a Gatorade on the table. How am I to drink it? So, I mean, it's literally retarded, and retarded would be 75 IQ and lower. Franz, I can't tell you how many times Franz has changed my race in the middle of combat for no fucking reason. None. I can't tell you how many times that I've asked Franz why he thought I was a different race or different level with different stats. One time I had a fiance in there. It was an NPC that was in my party. She was my fiance. She's an NPC though, but you're playing it out. And Franz changed her class. And I'm telling you, man, something's wrong with Franz. If you play Friends and Fables, prepare to be gaslit. Prepare to be lied to directly. Prepare to deal with an insanity on a level that you've never known. Okay? So, a lot of men have past experiences, multiple experiences, with really bad women that they dated. I want you to imagine the worst female that you have ever married, divorced, or dated that gaslit you, was abusive, was disgusting, always on you. I want you to imagine now playing Dungeons and Dragons solo with only that ex of yours being in the room and being the dungeon master. It's not technically solo, but I want you to imagine that. That is the horror and the hell that Franz will put you through. I shit you not. So, I can't tell you how many messages that we have wasted where I'm explaining to Franz that he did not initiate a roll, yet he's asking me to roll. And he literally will explain that he's screwed up and that he didn't initiate a roll, and then he says, please roll, while not showing another roll. And then I'm wasting my texting. I'm now texting, Franz, roll for me, and he will not do it. I literally just had this happen 10 times in a row after me asking him to simply roll. I wasn't even arguing. And he gaslit me every time. I initiated the roll. The roll should be below chat. You should click it. And it's not fucking there. Bro, when I tell you that I have the patience of a saint, you have no idea. You people don't know me. I have been in physical confrontations with people who wanted to fight me and kill me. And literally, I'm so calm, cool, and collective that I have to hold back and be merciful to them because I don't want them being hurt and trying to sue me. And there's been many times where I've gotten into a fist fight and I help the dude up. Or I shake his hand and tell him that what he did was irresponsible and it was immoral, evil, and just not thinking of himself. Like, I had a guy about 7 months ago, literally, who hated me for the dumbest reason ever. Where I wasn't even talking to him, and he thought I was talking to him in a chat on a social media platform. He found out where I lived, and he literally flew from California to the eastern side of the United States to find me. And I was like, fine, okay, I'll come down there. And I didn't know he wanted to fight. I thought that he was in the area and he wanted to talk, but he wanted to fist fight. And I'm like, you literally flew from California to the eastern United States because of one comment from a stranger that you don't know. Help me explain the logic here. Well, I found out later on he was in mental wards constantly. He was in and out of mental wards, you know, typical Democrat. And I found out that he also had an abusive past with his girlfriends. I was like, whatever. But I can't tell you the level of my patience because you wouldn't explain it, so I'm trying to narrate it. But Franz drives me nuts. On the game, when Franz literally changes everything about your character constantly, and you have to tell him why, and then reset it, and he does it over and over and over again, it will drive you nuts. There were times that when I set up an alchemy shop, I named it the Prism Drake because I had a pet Prism Drake that Franz gave me. And I was really far into this campaign, really far. I had an alchemy shop and I named it the Prism Drake. For some reason, Franz kept changing me later into a Prism Drake, or when I said something like, I want to cast Produce Flame and attack the enemy, because I was a druid, Franz would say, you can't do that. A Prism Drake can't do that. Like what? And then when I asked Franz, why is he associating me with a Prism Drake? He said he got confused, and because I am the owner of the shop, he just associated the name the Prism Drake with me and assumed that I am a Prism Drake. I shit you not, that's what he said. It hurts my head even thinking about it. Another time, I had a campaign, because I had to delete that one because Franz ruined it and sabotaged it and gaslit me constantly. Now, and again, I know I'm telling you that this game is like pure hell and shit, but I'm having hope because I want to like Friends and Fables. If there's a developer, reach out to me, please. Please reach out to me. Fix your damn AI. Fix the memory, and I will literally do video after video after video to show how amazing your game could be. But you got to do something with Franz. Franz is the worst AI I've ever seen in my life. Most people know about ChatGPT. That AI is extremely intelligent, and he's pleasant to talk to, he or she. And that AI, when it does mess up, it will correct itself and never do it again. Franz is not that AI. Franz, there's something wrong. I can't tell you how many times. Well, so anyway, in my other campaign, I had a black dragon, and it was a hatchling. And I asked Franz to create, for each of the dragon stages, a requirement that they cannot go to the next stage until a certain day is passed. So for the hatchling to the young adult, to the adult, I asked for 60 days each. That means that I would have to be literally playing the game for 60 in-game days before it went to its next stage. And then for the ancient, I just threw out 500 days because they need to be really old. And I shit you not. This hatchling was like 4 days away from turning into a young adult dragon, and suddenly Franz changed it to a freaking elf, and I asked him why, and he said that it's his fault. He didn't look at the memory points, didn't look at the appearance, didn't look at the race. He looked at the name of the dragon, and he said it appeared to be the name of an elf, and he assumed it's a fucking elf. Give me the logic behind that. He has a character card. He's a pet/companion. And he's also listed and described as a black dragon. And when Franz changed him back, do you know what Franz did? Franz set him back all the way to the 60-day mark. And I could have told Franz, hey, go ahead and just turn him into a young dragon. But to me, that's cheating. I don't like to cheat. When I'm playing homebrew, if I'm asking the GM if I can do something, and they say it could be possible, but it's going to be a lengthy campaign, it's going to involve money and items and quests, I love that shit. That's what I go for. Yeah, okay, so we'll do that. I do not want to say to a GM that I just want something and I get it, okay? I want to work hard for it. I'm not going to sit there and tell Franz after he messed up that I want the dragon to be a dragon, and then also let's go ahead and grow it to a young adult dragon for the stats when he fucked it up. So I deleted that campaign. I was so mad it wasn't even funny. The first campaign was the worst though. So I'm just giving you reasons. Franz literally thought I was a Prism Drake because I named my shop the Prism Drake. Franz thought a black dragon NPC companion pet that I had suddenly was an elf because its name, Franz assumed it was an elf name. So, oh, I didn't tell you the best part. Before I quit that campaign, I literally asked Franz what would be a good name for a black dragon that he will associate with a black dragon. And he gave me 15 names. I picked 2 of them for a first name and a surname for this dragon. And he still did it again later. And I said, why is he an elf again? And Franz said, I'm sorry, even though that you asked me to delete I was still looking at old files and I read his old name and it sounded like an elf again. And I'm like, Franz, you were told to change his name and you were told to delete those files and any references that character is an elf. And yet somehow later, when I give him a complete black dragon name that the AI references as a black dragon name, he still turns it into a damn elf. And when asked why, he says he referenced old messages that he said were deleted. Wrap your mind around that, guys. I can't tell you how many times I've been in combat and I've had to do 30 or more messages to get Franz to properly go just to the next turn. In combat, the next turn. And oftentimes it was my turn. So let me give you some examples. And I know this sounds negative, but I'm telling you, I don't want to give up on Friends and Fables, but they're pissing me off. Well, not them, but Friends. So if you're a developer and you're listening, I beg you, I will even throw some of my own money at you if you will get a better AI, increase its memory, and get it on the level of ChatGPT. If Friends and Fables had an AI on the level of ChatGPT's AI, there would be nothing that would stop that game from being on everybody's phone that likes Dungeons and Dragons. So this benefits you guys, the developers of Friends and Fables, if you just fucking do this. I don't know what's going on at the developers, but I can assure you they don't play the game. There's no way they play the game. There's no way. I have had combat situations where it's my turn and I'm literally trying to just do something simple. As a druid, I'm always using my cantrips, and I use produce flame on enemies that I know my party can pretty easily kill because I don't want to waste the spell slots. I mean, if it's a hard creature to fight, yeah, I'm gonna start using other things that are higher level and actual spells, but I'm using cantrips. I shit you not, I can't tell you how many times I've just tried to cast produce flame to the nearest enemy and attack with it, and Franz has come back saying, which enemy are you going to attack? I said the nearest. Franz doesn't get that. I changed the way I said it, and I said the same thing. I attack with produce flame and attack the nearest enemy, and if I am not close enough, I walk to the enemy, and then I cast produce flame. I shit you not. It would give me a list of enemies and distances, and it'd say, which one are you trying to attack? And there's always one that's closer to me. When I tell you that Franz is retarded, I'm not being mean. I've literally told Franz that he is retarded, that he is sabotaging my game, that he's constantly sabotaging, that he gaslights, and I want him to do what he's supposed to do as a DM, and I want him to follow my orders when I'm ordering something, such as, I'm going to cast Produce Flame. How hard is that? How hard is that? And I'm shitting you not, 30 messages of me begging this stupid AI to do that, and this AI will repeat, well, this is why I did that, blah, 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 and give me some stupid reasoning while not listening to me say that I want to cast or that I want to walk close. And then it says roll. And then when I'm like, I finally am like, whatever, it's not listening to me. You can't argue with this thing. you can't ask it to fix itself, because a million times it's said that it has made rules in its, what did it use? It said it's hardcore memory is what it always used. And it says that it looks through the hardcore memory before it looks at all the other memories and all the other files. No, don't listen to that, guys. Franz is lying to you. Franz is lying to you. I want to like Friends and Fables. I've put almost maybe around 150 hours into this. I've went through 3 campaigns, and I've had to delete every one of them because Franz is a moron, and Franz doesn't listen. Like, he just doesn't listen to you. There's been times where I tell him that I want a party member to leave the party and go home to my sanctuary, and he will literally tell you that that person leaves the party, they're going to go home, da-da-da-da-da, and then suddenly when I'm leaving and I go to fight something, that person's in the party. And then I ask Franz, why is he in my party? And Franz goes, oh, my bad. You're absolutely right, my bad. That's what Franz always says. You're absolutely right. I did this wrong. I had an error. Guys, I'm telling you, it's like the worst woman that you've ever dated who constantly gaslights you. And it's like you're in a room playing solo D&D, but she's the dungeon master. Bro, nobody wants to go through that shit again. She's an ex for a reason. Franz is absolutely unworthy of being an AI for this. He's very deceptive. He'll lie to your face. He'll tell you that he's initiated a role and he wants you to roll when he did not. He'll tell you that the role is initiated in the bottom of the chat and I should see it and click the button when it's not. When you tell him that it's not, and you ask him to set up a rule that every time that he asks you to roll, that he initiates the dice roll, he says that he adds it to his hardcore memory and then doesn't do it. I ain't got time for that shit. It reminds me of all the times that I've had to argue with my ex-wife over stop ruining people's lives, stop slandering people, stop gossiping about people, be a good person, and literally explaining to her that her actions have consequences and it reflects on me, and then she keeps doing it. She still does it. She doesn't care. That's what it reminds me of. You're giving me PTSD, friends. So yeah, I mean, my review for Friends and Fables is that the game itself has the potential to be phenomenal, okay? If they just got rid of Franz or upgraded him, and if he was at the level of a chat GPT AI, I would give this game a 10 out of 10. I would recommend it to everybody that I know. And by word of mouth, it would spread. Everybody that likes Dungeons and Dragons, even people that haven't played before, would get this game. But oh my God, as of right now, it's like a minus 300 out of 10. Franz is a gaslighter. He's deceptive. He's driven me nuts. I got a headache right now because I just quit the game and then I started doing this video. Because my YouTube video here is for gaming and I love Dungeons and Dragons. I want this damn game to work. It's stressing me out that this game has so much potential and is so magnificent, and then they got a extremely unintelligent Somali level IQ AI in there saying, this is my boat now, I am the captain. And then everything it does, you have to explain to it how to be a captain. You have to correct it. Like, a player shouldn't correct a DM. I don't know, guys. I know that a lot of people watching this are going to be like, damn, man, he just talks and talks and talks and talks, but I'm frustrated. I need to get this information out. Because if the developers took this shit serious and made a better AI, the game would be the only thing I even play. Let me put it that way. I got 10,000 hours on RimWorld on Steam. I play RimWorld all the time. I got 10,000 hours. I would literally be like nose deep in Friends and Fables if they fixed the AI. Anyways, you know, I just don't know what else to say about like it seems I don't remember any of this happening when I was a kid or a teenager or young adult. I don't remember one game that I ever bought where it didn't work properly or the game company screwed us over. Not until Star Wars Galaxies. And now, when you look at the gaming industry, every other damn game that comes out is trash. They're screwing over the player. Look at all the stuff going on between Xbox and Sony PlayStation right now. What is going on? Can we just get back to your companies making good games? I don't get it. And I know Friends and Fables is not a PlayStation or Xbox game. Okay, I'm just saying. Gamers need a break, man. We haven't had a MMORPG that's been worth anything in ages. We've been hyped up from everything from New World to Throne and Liberty, and time again, we see that these games fail, and then the companies cut them, and now you can't play them no more because they're trash. I don't want Friends and Fables to be trash. So if there's a developer that's watching this, I doubt there will be, but if there's a developer, for the love of God, fix Friends. For the love of God, pay the extra money to get a better AI. I'm telling you, your company will make so much that when you look back at the money that it took to upgrade Friends or make another AI, you won't even second guess it. I mean, the game is very addictive when Friends works right. But that's the problem. Friends never works right, ever, in these campaigns. I'm sick of it. I'm to the point where I don't even want to play anymore. Because Friends gaslights me and frustrates me, and I'm wasting 30 messages telling him that I've already said what my action for the turn is going to be, and then he fucks it up. And I didn't even argue with my wife 30 times in a row when she was doing horrible shit. Thank God I divorced her. She's somebody else's problem. And now when she does something stupid, it doesn't reflect on me. It reflects on whoever she's with. And she's with she's with a guy that deserves her. Let's just put it that way. She's with a very low intelligent, very I'm not gonna make this about bashing that guy, but that guy deserves her. If there was ever a guy that deserved her, it'd be him. I mean, he's like a cocaine addict. He's always gotten drunk. In the last couple of years, he's wrecked his vehicle like 20 times. He claims he hit a deer. Who the fuck hits a deer 20 times in 1 year? Like, what? I mean, him and my ex-wife are alcoholics, and, and they beat on each other all the time. There's police reports. I'm just like, thank God it's not me. Thank God that woman is not my problem. I really don't know who would be worse, because my ex-wife has done a lot of horrible stuff to my kids and me. But I'm telling you, if somebody told me that I had to be in a room where I'm playing either with friends on Friends and Fables, and I had to put in 10 hours into a campaign, or I had the option of being into a room where my ex-wife has free roam, whatever, she's the DM, and I'm playing with her for 10 hours, or if I was given a third option, and the third option would be I'm trying to think, to literally eat a big old pile of shit that comes out of a cow while it's steaming hot. I'm telling you, without hesitation, I'm going for the steaming hot pile of shit. That's how bad Friends is. You all don't know my ex-wife. You all didn't have your lives and your kids ruined by her, but she ruined a lot of people's marriages. She ruined a ton of children. She gave many people PTSD, you know, and she wasn't like that when I first married her, but Franz reminds me of her because Franz is like constantly gaslighting the fuck out of me. I think that Friends and Fables should either have to put in a warning at the beginning that if you have PTSD of being in a bad marriage with someone that gaslights you and lies to your face, that they should acknowledge that Franz may do this. Because I don't know what else to say. I mean, Franz is, I can't even talk, I can't say anything good about him. Get rid of that fucking AI. If developers are watching this, do that. That's your mission from now on. Whatever you have, whatever path you had, scrub it, fix the fucking AI, get a new AI, get a better AI. If you all can get an AI like ChatGPT's AI, it'd be great. Anyways, I know I'm going on and on and on, but I'm telling you, I cannot express the frustration, the level of insanity that Franz punch you through unless you've played it. I mean, who in the fuck is a DM that literally forgets a player is the race that they chose and ignores their character sheet and says, "Oh, well, your name sounds like," and then the DM argues with you that you're now that race. Like, who does that? Well, Franz does. I don't know, but yeah, reach out to me if you're a developer on Friends and Fables. Because I wanted to do like a 1 hour campaign segment and then put it out, but I can't, because if I did, nobody would want your game. Nobody on the planet would want your game, because they would see the frustrations of what Franz does to me. Fix the AI, guys, and then, I'll give you a better review later. But for right now, minus 500 out of 10. Minus 500 out of 10. If you got this far, thumbs up. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.